Imagine eating a single food today, one simple, everyday food, and within hours seeing measurable improvements in your LDL cholesterol. Not weeks, not months, hours. Sounds like the kind of promise you'd expect from a late-night infomercial or the back of a supplement bottle. But this one comes straight from controlled, clinical, peer-reviewed nutrition science. I'm Dr. Michael Greger, and if you followed my work for any length of time, you know I don't care about hype. I care about evidence. I care about data. And today, we're diving into one of the most remarkable examples of how profoundly, how rapidly, and how predictably food can work as medicine. Not metaphorically, literally. Most people think cholesterol changes are slow. You go on a diet, you wait a few months, you retest. But the truth is, your bloodstream doesn't operate on geologic time. It operates on biological time, moment to moment, meal to meal. And there is one particular food that has been tested over and over again, with a growing pile of randomized controlled trials showing it can lower LDL cholesterol almost immediately after you eat it. Not because it blocks absorption like drugs, not because it revs up your liver like pharmaceuticals, but because it's naturally packed with compounds that trap cholesterol in the digestive tract before it ever hits your bloodstream. So, what's the food? Beans, lentils, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, navy beans, take your pick. The entire legume family consistently shows one of the most powerful immediate impacts on LDL cholesterol ever documented in dietary research. And today, we're going to break down what the science actually shows, how fast the benefits begin, how large the effect can be, how often you need to eat them, and exactly why the humble bean is one of the most potent natural cholesterol-lowering tools on the planet. First, let's talk speed. Researchers wanted to know how quickly beans could influence cholesterol levels, so they performed a series of feeding studies. Participants consumed a single bean-rich meal, just one, and within hours saw reductions in post-meal cholesterol levels compared to control meals with no beans. We're not talking about months of dietary change. We're talking same day, within the time span between lunch and dinner. Why does this happen? Because beans are loaded with soluble fiber, a sticky, gel-forming type of fiber that acts like a sponge in your digestive tract. When you eat soluble fiber, it binds to bile acids, those cholesterol-rich, detergent-like compounds your liver produces to digest fat. Under normal conditions, your body reabsorbs those bile acids and recycles them. But soluble fiber traps them, escorts them all the way out of your body, and forces your liver to pull LDL cholesterol out of your bloodstream to create more bile acids. That's how you drop your LDL level at the source. High fiber equals less recycling of bile acids. Less recycling means more cholesterol pulled out of circulation, and more cholesterol pulled out of circulation means lower LDL. It's not magic, it's physiology. One of the earliest, most elegant demonstrations of this effect came from studies where participants consumed about a cup of cooked beans per day. Across the board, LDL cholesterol dropped significantly, often by 10 to 20 points, without any other dietary changes. But researchers wanted to zoom in even further. Was it just the fiber? Was it specific to certain types of beans? Did the form matter? Whole beans, pureed beans, bean powders? Turns out the effect is remarkably consistent across varieties. Navy beans, black beans, chickpeas, lentils, kidney beans, every one of them showed measurable benefits. But what's even more fascinating is that the drop in LDL begins long before you finish your first pot of chili. In one tightly controlled experiment, participants consumed a serving of lentils as part of a test meal. Researchers measured blood lipids over the next few hours. The legume meal significantly blunted the rise in postprandial cholesterol compared to a matched control meal without legumes. That's the almost instantly part. The soluble fiber binds cholesterol before it even has a chance to enter circulation, which means your blood lipid response to that very meal improves in real time. And the benefits don't stop at LDL. Beans also lower post-meal blood sugar. Spikes improve insulin sensitivity, flatten triglyceride peaks, and increase satiety, all in the same meal. It's like a metabolic Swiss Army knife. Now, let's talk magnitude. If you were to eat about a cup of beans per day, roughly the amount used in most clinical trials, you'd expect to see an average LDL reduction of around 10%. That's similar to what some people get from starting statins at the lowest doses. Don't get me wrong, statins save lives, especially for high-risk individuals. But the fact that a simple, inexpensive food can achieve double-digit LDL drops is remarkable. And unlike medications, beans don't come with the laundry list of potential side effects. No liver enzyme elevations, no muscle pain, no cognitive complaints, and instead of costing $100 a month, beans cost pennies per serving. If Big Pharma ever tried to patent a food with this level of efficacy, it would be a billion-dollar blockbuster overnight. What's even more exciting is what happens when people combine legumes with other naturally cholesterol-lowering foods. Oats, barley, chia seeds, flax seeds, apples, citrus fruits, foods rich in soluble fiber all stack synergistically. In fact, when researchers put people on a portfolio diet, a combination of high-fiber foods, nuts, soy, and plant sterols, the LDL lowering effect rivals that of moderate-dose statins. But beans alone, even by themselves, they pack a punch. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't even need a full cup to start seeing benefits. In one study, half a cup of beans added to a meal significantly reduced LDL, cholesterol compared to the same meal without beans. Half a cup, about the size of a small scoop of cooked lentils. Not even enough to fill a cereal bowl. And we're not talking about exotic, hard-to-find superfoods. These are foods that sit quietly on the shelf of every grocery store, available in bags, cans, cartons, or frozen, all for loose change. But there's another mechanism at play, one that researchers didn't fully appreciate until recently. When you eat beans, the soluble fiber isn't just functioning as a cholesterol sponge. It also feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. These microbes ferment the fiber and produce short-chain fatty acids, like propionate, that enter your bloodstream and directly reduce cholesterol synthesis in the liver. In other words, your gut bacteria join the fight, helping regulate cholesterol from the inside out. So you get the immediate meal-to-meal reduction in cholesterol absorption, and over time you get the microbiome-mediated reduction in cholesterol production. A 1-2 punch. But perhaps the most fascinating data comes from what's called the second meal effect. When you eat beans at one meal, your body handles the next meal better, even if that next meal contains no beans at all. Eat lentils. At lunch, your blood sugar, insulin, and lipid response to dinner are significantly improved. This delayed metabolic benefit may be one of the reasons legumes are consistently linked with longer lifespan across cultures. Look at the blue zones, areas with the highest concentrations of centenarians. Beans aren't just common, they are foundational. Whether it's Okinawan soybeans, Nicoyan black beans, Mediterranean chickpeas, or Sardinian fava beans, legumes form the backbone of some of the longest living populations on Earth. So, what's the optimal daily dose? Most studies show that a single serving, about half a cup to 1 cup of cooked beans, provides measurable benefit. But if you want to maximize the effect, 2 servings per day bring even bigger improvements, and there appears to be no upper limit to the health benefits. In fact, in populations with the lowest rates of chronic disease, bean consumption is often 2, 3, or even 4 servings per day. But maybe you're thinking, beans bother my stomach. Totally normal if you're not used to fiber. Your gut microbiome adapts quickly, but the key is to ease in gradually. Start with a quarter cup, then a half. Rinse canned beans well to remove excess oligosaccharides. Try lentils. They tend to be the easiest on digestion. Within a week or two, your microbiome adjusts and the discomfort fades. Now you may wonder, does preparation matter? Do canned beans work? What about pureed beans, hummus, split pea soups, lentil curries? The good news is that virtually every form counts. Canned beans deliver the same soluble fiber. Hummus delivers the same soluble fiber. Lentil soups deliver the same soluble fiber. Whether you mash them, blend them, season them, or toss them into salads, the cholesterol-lowering effect remains intact. There's even research showing that bean powders, essentially dehydrated, powdered legumes, can lower LDL. So there's no wrong way to eat them. People often ask, if beans are so powerful, why doesn't everyone know this? And the answer is simple. There's no advertising budget for beans, no billion-dollar marketing campaign, no TV ads with smiling actors tossing lentils into the air. You don't see pharmaceutical-style commercials ending with, "Ask your doctor if chickpeas are right for you." But the science speaks for itself. Decades of trials, thousands of participants, meta-analyses showing consistent reductions in LDL, improvements in glycemic control, better weight management, reduced inflammation, and lower risk of cardiovascular events. Beans are one of the rare foods where the hype actually underestimates the benefit. And here's the kicker. If you combine beans with a whole food, plant-based diet rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, your LDL cholesterol can drop so low that your cardiologist will do a double take. I've seen patients hit LDL levels in the 50s, 40s, even the 30s, levels cardiologists normally only see with high-dose statins combined with PCSK9 inhibitors. But these people weren't on medications. They were on plants. And it all starts with that first bowl of beans. Switching from animal protein to plant protein is one of the simplest, most effective ways to lower LDL cholesterol. But legumes take the crown. They're the nutritional powerhouse that does everything you'd hope a cholesterol-lowering food would do, quickly, reliably, and without side effects. So, if you want to start lowering your LDL almost instantly, don't reach for a supplement. Don't reach for a miracle powder. Don't reach for a magic bullet. Reach for a can opener. Open a can of beans. Add them to your salad. Blend them into a dip. Toss them into soup. Stir them into chili. Eat them however you like, but eat them. Your arteries will thank you. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more evidence-based nutrition content, and check out the next video to continue your journey toward better health, one meal at a time.